Q2 here in Silverstone. My name is Rivas. I'm joined tonight with Duncan McCamick. Missed first part of Q1. I was flying back in from Misano, Italy, and Duncan just flew back in from Daytona just so that you guys could have a broadcast tonight. So really happy to have all you guys here. It does look like the broadcast is live. So get your comments in now. Who do you think is going to make it through to Q1? Well, I'll tell you who it won't be. It won't be Nux. Nux lost it coming out of Maggotts and Beckett's, took a little too much exit curb and took a hard right. So now we're down to 13 cars. BuzzGod right now sitting P1, Siggy P2, Kyle Desmond in third, Marino in P4, and Raz in P5 with 4 drivers yet to set a lap. So, Duncan, 24 hours of Daytona. I'm sure you are absolutely wiped right now.
I am exhausted, but listen, we're here and we're gonna make this happen. We're excited for Silverstone. It's a great track, and it's gonna put on a good show. Q1 was very interesting. BuzzGod actually made it through Q1 with the pole time, and he was 2 tenths up on everyone else. So showing dominance early, and even deciding to come out on mediums in Q2, wanting to start the race on mediums and still going fastest. So BuzzGod is asserting his dominance. Unfortunately, though, for Red Bull, as I think I was starting to see sprinkles potentially, unfortunately for Red Bull, OG, the second Red Bull driver, didn't make it through. So not looking great for Red Bull. Not sure that's not what they wanted, but OG is a great, resilient driver, and I'm sure that he'll fight back through the field.
Absolutely. So, yeah, you and I were talking earlier. OG had mentioned something about having wheel issues, and it looks like Quishy is now out of the session as well. So that'll be 2 drivers out. Yeah, it's showing the same thing on your screen. So he's sitting right there in P10 on those mediums. That's where he wants to be anyway. So he's either P10 on the mediums or he's P11 on the mediums, and he'll be fine with that. So I don't think he's feeling a whole lot of pressure from his old teammate K-Seb. And so I wonder if there's a little smack talk going on in the background there between the garage stalls.
I'm sure there is. The rain is starting to come down, so these drivers that got their early laps in on their dry tires, it's looking good for them. The guys who are still out on their hot laps just now, people who don't have a hot lap in, like K-Seb, who's on his out lap, not ideal situation. So
track starts to get greasy, and all of a sudden you wish you were on anything else than the tires you're on. So yeah, that greasy crossover condition, man, some drivers can make it work, but it takes a lot of talent and a lot of remembering that egg under your throttle pedal.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and find this stream. I'm gonna go ahead and link it in the Discord for everyone to find it.
I've already taken care of that, sir.
Oh, have you? Okay, never mind.
So we
Perfect.
should see our view count going up. We got 12 so far. Let's see if we can make that 120 by the end of the night.
I'm sure it will be. So
yeah, look at that rain. Yeah, it's only going to get worse from here. So good. The one that I really want to draw attention to, and you brought this up at the draft about how much work he'd been putting in, and look at P8 right now. Mm-hmm. The artist formerly known as George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, sitting there in P8 on medium tires on the strategy in Division 3, and he is the youngest driver on the grid, just like his namesake. So good job for you, George Yuki.
George Yuki, I like it. Yep, so K-Seb's going out for his hot lap now. I'm just watching to see if he gets any sort of... big moment. And yeah, so the rain got to him. And
he didn't invalidate somehow. Somehow his lap is still valid.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I mean, looking at the radar here, too, the rain was pretty 50-50. So the chance that... Oh, wow, it's just getting worse. The chances that this happening were not likely, and maybe K-Seb was just kind of banking on it not happening. And he didn't want to use a set of soft tires and medium tires, and he was just waiting. But I have the rain showing a chance of raining at 58%. So it wasn't guaranteed at all. And now that it's happened, I think the times that you are seeing on the board are not going to be improved upon unless it's a miracle.
It's very unlikely. So as Mercedes, we had a couple of practice sessions this week. We had a good turnout. Nearly half of our drivers showed up for both of them. And we specifically made 2 of the practice sessions wet. Because there's always a chance of rain at Silverstone. Anytime you're in jolly old England, things can get moist in a hurry. So we wanted to make sure our drivers were prepared for that. We actually went over different strategies for how to set up your tire pressures, how to change your wings, if you think the conditions are going to be changing. And so I'm really happy to see the Mercedes guys up near the front. But I think in the wet, we're going to actually really see them shine. And yeah, these times right now, even with guys like Victor Diaz in Division 1 out there, Victor's not getting close to a 128 in the wet, so I don't think anyone's going to be anywhere close to these times.
No, I'd have to agree with you. For the race, it does show that we've got little to no chance of rain, sitting at 8% right now. So I think we're pretty good and clear of the rain for that. At least I'm hoping. I'd prefer to not see a rain race. I kind of like seeing when it's dry and seeing the drivers really get to race out there. Raz is still going for another lap, even though it's wet.
As is K-Sub. K-Sub went ahead and stayed out, and I think he's going to try to make a little adjustment here just really wants to get to that position 10 to be able to start on those mediums inside the top 10 and have a chance to go into Q1. So he's got 5 minutes to do it, and yeah, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. The rain isn't that bad yet, and it's light rain. It's still possible, but like you're gonna have to do something crazy to make this happen. I want to see his sector times here. Obviously, they're going to be beating his previous.
Oh, really? All he needs here is a 129.8 or below.
So actually, he ran a 28.1 for sector, which is on pace with top 10.
Yep. Because Buzzgod, I think his best sector was like a 27.9. So
sector 2, we're looking for somewhere around a 24.3. Well, I guess, okay. He ran it. I don't think I'm looking at this right. I'm sorry, we're looking for a 36.1 or 2. He ran a 36.8. So he's a little slow through there. It's possible, though. He's not that far off. I'm surprised he's still trying it on mediums, though. If he wants to get through to Q3, he should come in for softs. I don't think he's going to have time for that now.
Yeah, because he's going to have to come all the way back around. He's like right there, and he actually goes P11. Misses it by 7/10. So
that's actually that's going to be a very good effort, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault the effort, but maybe a little better strategy call would have helped that. In fact, I want to take a look over here and see whether the Red Bull team has provided an engineer for the AlphaTauri boys, and it looks like they do actually have Joel Guron. So Joel Guron from Division 1, the Honda gang, is in there helping his teammates in Division 3. So you love to see that. Alpine looks like they have an engineer tonight. Ferrari has an engineer. Haas, Mercedes, McLaren, a lot of really good stuff. That's part of building the community and helping each other get better, is that we want each division to help engineer for one another and build a really cohesive team across all brands.
Yeah, now really quick, Revis, K-Seb's actually up 0.2 right now. He needs a little bit more than that. He didn't invalidate there either. He's still up 0.2. So let's see. He's going for it again. Could the risk play off?
So I didn't see how much of a lift he had. The no lift right there through Maggots, down to
still
fifth
up
gear for
0.2.
He's running it just like he's on the dry line. He doesn't seem to be scared of the wet right now.
Yeah, he's gonna need about 0.7, and I don't know if it's gonna be found right here, but nevertheless impressive. Seeing him put up times like this makes me wonder why all the other drivers have decided to either pit or retire. Ooh, see, because he got it.
He got it. Wow, incredible. That's a highlight moment right there. That was a really good drive by K-Sub.
Absolutely, that was crazy. And you'd have to imagine that people like Yuki should be wanting to come out of the pits right now on soft tires, who just got bumped out, and try to improve on that. The track is not in a bad condition.
No, he has just enough time to get around and get a lap. But yeah, that's going to be it for Yuki. He's going to be pushed out. Quishy's still sitting there in the pits, retired. The problem is, did he crash or did he retire in the pits? Because if he retired in the pits, he'll get to take part in Q1. But if he crashed, we're only going to have 9 drivers in Q1.
That is correct.
Mr. Robot's on an out lap. I wonder what he can do, if he can get that papaya-powered McLaren up there, now that he's kind of seen how those times tumbled for K-Sub.
Maybe we can go ahead and get Joel Guron in here, the engineer for AlphaTauri, because I'm thinking that there's a chance that Yuki might be one to start P11. That might be just as planned.
Let me go see if I can grab him real quick.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. As the rain just continues to pour onto the track, I don't think we have anyone on outlaps right now. Maybe Mr. Robot? Yeah, Mr. Robot is, so.
We are now joined in the booth by engineer extraordinaire for AlphaTauri, Mr. Joel Guron. So, Joel, we saw K-Seb actually jump up into P9, but Yuki's still in the pits. Was there some communication about trying to work together to maybe get them both into the top 10, or what was the thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. We were just looking at Kushi, and I don't know what happened with him, and I don't know. It's kind of one of them are going to get knocked out at this point, so.
Yeah, so it looks like we may just have 9 cars for Q1, depending on what happened with Cushy.
Yeah, we're just gonna see what it plays out
Yeah.
and have George be 11.
Yeah.
Oh, I see
Maybe
you guys
fresh.
are
Maybe.
making preparations for a potentially wet race as well. Is that the discussion going on, or we think it's going to be dry conditions?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be dry.
Yep. I'd have to agree with that. I was gonna say, was putting Yuki into P11 kind of part of the plan, or did it just kind of work out that way?
Not really.
Conveniently?
We were trying to get them both into Q3,
Okay.
but yeah, K-Sub kind of messed up on his first lap. That kind of put him down into where he's at right now. So.
All right. Cool. Well, we will keep an eye out for AlphaTauri, and we'll reach back out to you later in the race.
Yeah, look out, Alpine.
Yeah, will do.
Speaking of which, we're joined in the booth now by the head of the Alpine conglomerate, one Mr. Cyril's Tattoo Tired Adam Klein. How are you doing, sir? Are you nice and tired after Daytona?
Oh yes, sir. Very, very tired. It was grueling. Very first endurance event I've ever done. We made it through. I did all 3 of my stints in VR, so it was quite an experience.
Okay, 1 second, please. Q2 just ended. So we'll be looking at the top 9 going into Q1 will be Buzzgod, Axel Eyes, Siggy, Marino, Kyle Desmond, it was in P5 in the McLaren, Rads in the Aston Martin, Flossie in the Haas, Tanner Desmond, who's a reserve driver for Mercedes this week, and K-Seb in the AlphaTauri. So you guys were driving the LMP2s, and so you're obviously having to lap around GT3 cars, so it was kind of like driving around me for 24 hours, right?
I wouldn't say it was quite like that, but it was definitely very challenging in the speed difference, and sometimes they'd be going too wide. It doesn't leave a whole lot of room on the outside when you're kissing a wall at Daytona. So yeah, it was a challenging race. Took a lot of mental fortitude, and I'm glad that we all did very well in it. So
as the head of the Alpine F1 team, are you planning to help engineer for these guys, or are you just kind of waking up and getting out of bed and getting around?
yeah, I'm just now getting around. I actually just threw on the end of the Bengals Titans game, caught the end of that, and ate some dinner, and figured I saw you guys on, so I couldn't let all the fun go to the other manufacturer heads, so had to hop in.
And we'll see if here in a minute we can get Josh Barnsley in here and complete the quadfecta. He is actually engineering for Haas though, so we'll they have Flossie in there still. So yeah, maybe we'll try to grab Barnsley here in a minute and see what their plans are over there, if they think they can get Flossie through into top 3, top 5, something like that.
Yeah.
First drivers out on track, it looks like, is going to be Siggy. Siggy's going to lead them out. Mercedes tends to lead the way, so I'm proud of Siggy for being the first one out on track. Looks like it's pretty dry right now. There's still a little bit of rain coming down, and so not seeing any rooster tails, not seeing really a dry or wet line yet, so maybe still just enough grip to stay on those slicks and set a couple good times here.
Let's go ahead and pull the telemetry up. Lap times. Yeah, Siggy is out there in front right now, followed by the Haas of Flossen. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the first name. Revis, feel free.
Good Munder.
Good Munder.
I'm pretty sure that's like 37% correct, and that's good enough for me.
It's good enough for me too. And then we've got K-Seb out there behind Flossen, followed by Raz, and the other Mercedes of TTF Desmond.
Yeah.
Followed by Marino, and Kyle Desmond, the brother of TTF Desmond.
Nice to have the Desmond boy, or 2/3 of the Desmond boys back.
Yep, and Buzzgod's following them with Axel Eyes rear, pulling up the rear. So all 10 drivers are out on track. Rain is coming down. You would kind of think that the idea with this rain coming down the track's obviously going to involve that you'd want to be out there first. And as you see, K-Seb just bit
K-Seb is out.
out. So
Good night. Good luck. We will see you at the race. Go get some hot cocoa and warm up your toesies, and we'll see you for the race. It's got to be disappointing, but yeah, that's just the thing we talked about earlier. Is you got to kind of tiptoe on this lap, see where the track's at, you don't want to waste a banker, and you certainly don't want to do what just happened with Queso. We got another yellow, and that looks like,
Marino, I believe.
is it Marino in the wall? Yep,
Yeah,
Marino is
Marino.
in the wall.
Off in the
Still has
gravel.
his front wing on. He's doing donuts. You haven't won yet, bud. So we gotta. I know you were really excited to get picked P1. I know you're excited to be on Adam's team, but we do the donuts after the race.
I'd have to agree with that, but we've got BuzzGod go ahead and see if he can set this another fastest time. Who else are you looking for to set pole caliber times here in Q3?
So I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere between BuzzGod, Axelized, Siggy, and Kyle. I think the four of them are going to be close enough in pace, but I think it's probably going to be BuzzGod, honestly, just dispassionately looking at it. As Siggy is finishing up his lap here as he comes around the final corner to go onto the Hamilton straight, and he invalidates right before the line. That's really disappointing for Siggy. That may have been his best chance for a lap because his fuel light is flashing. So that's going to be it for him. Flossie goes a 133.122. 32.093 for Raz. So that just tells you how much these conditions are deteriorating. And it looks like on my screen the rain is starting to pour just a little bit harder.
Yeah, it is. I agree. TT at Desmond comes across the line, but he's invalid, so that lap's not going to count. He's got fuel for another run if he chooses to. Back down, and the next person across the line is going to be Kyle Desmond, followed by BuzzGod. Let's see what kind of times they put up. Kyle Desmond's looking like he's a little off pace, but BuzzGod could be coming across, and he'll go P2. 4 tenths down from Raz. So let's see what kind of time Axelize puts up.
He's already invalidated, so he'll be starting another flyer back-to-back. So he's got enough battery to go ahead and push back-to-back. Fuel light's not on, so good plan there for Axelize to try to do 2 push laps. Because, again, with the deteriorating conditions, it's real easy to invalidate. As Marino comes around, he's going to set a time. It doesn't look like he's invalidated. And he went P5, but 34 seconds off the pace, so he's going to have to clean that up.
So BuzzGod's going again. BuzzGod's not going again. He doesn't have fuel, but Axelized is, and he's kind of in a spot where some of these guys are on in-laps. He may be able to sneak in a tow, which if he didn't already. So let's see what... Oh, as he kind of runs into some traffic right there, Kyle Desmond.
Siggy and Flossin both back into the pits. Their fuel lights were on. Next across the line is going to be Raz. Can't tell if he's up on his time or not. Fuel light's not on. His battery's fully recharged, so he may be going back in the pits. Okay,
TTF Desmond is coming across. He doesn't have a time yet. This will be his banker time. See what kind of time he can put in. And BuzzGod's actually giving Axelize a heck of... Ooh! Well, he hit the curb. BuzzGod is he gave Axelize a pretty good tow down that back straight, so... Let's see as Axelize gets ready to come across the line if it was enough. Or did the little loss of control behind Kyle Desmond do enough damage?
He's invalidated. Axelize
he did again. Okay. All right.
So no fuel light, but he's only got half ERS, so he can try to push again, but it might be a good idea to come in and chill out. And heck, it might be Enter's time because that rain doesn't appear to be letting up at all. I don't really see a wet line yet. I'm not really seeing rooster tails, but man, it just keeps getting wetter.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you, but if it does stand, then we're going to have Raz here on pole, and that would be something that I don't think anyone here expected.
I'm not incredibly surprised by it. This is his home Grand Prix, and so it's a track that he obviously wants to do well at. And he's a quick driver. He's just not incredibly consistent every time. So, but BuzzGod's right there with him. Like this is anyone's game still at this point.
That is true. I just don't know if times are going to improve or not. I think that this is probably how the grid's going to be set. Looking at that, sticking out to me, Flossin, after last season not doing so hot, coming through to start P3, well, that would be phenomenal for him. I'm sure he'd be really thrilled. So,
yeah, he was generally somewhere near the rear with me within the final 6 or 8 cars, and a lot of incidents because things get bunched up back there. So him starting out front may be what he needs. And I can tell you from talking to him after the draft, he was actually pretty angry that he was picked later, that he ended up going to Haas instead of one of the picks closer to the top. But I want to see him actually use that anger and channel it and improve his driving and prove us all wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love for Flossie to come out and just ball out.
Yeah, I would love to see that too. Axelize actually went P3. I'm really surprised that he was able to do that, but we know Axelize has some crazy pace. Some people say the argument that he shouldn't be in D3. But nevertheless, he's here, and he's showing out. So we will see how this plays out. I'm excited.
Looks like Tanner has invalidated his lap. Looks like he may have had an issue at Brooklands. No, Luffield, sorry. I don't have my track map out. I probably should pull that up.
I don't have it either. That's okay.
Weird British name corner over there.
Yeah, they're all the same.
And see, this is why I need PBJ to carry me, because this dude is like an encyclopedia of track turns and knowledge.
He really is. Buzzgod's going for another one. I guess he's not happy with P2.
Siggy's on a flyer, and as soon as I say his name and look at him, he takes a little spinnerooski through turn 1, a little visit to the infield, a little wave to the crowd, and that's unfortunate for him. It's like Marino's coming out of the pits to try to fulfill the Alpine dream of doing something that someone pays attention to.
That won't happen very often.
And there he goes, spinning around the infield. Did his best impersonation of Siggy.
Oh no, Marino? For real? Marino, I gotta be in the first pick in the draft. I gotta see you make it to Q3 and do something better than this, man.
I would have to say that it was probably very, very difficult to replicate these type of conditions
For practice.
In any practice session. So I'm not making excuses. I think it adds a level of complexity and intrigue to our first official race of season 3.
So it looks like Flossie is actually out on inters, so the drivers have decided that that's enough of the soft tires, and so we'll see if he can do anything close to what he did to put himself into P3 and then now to P4. Going over to YouTube to the chat, Jack Fletcher, hello, Sleek, good to see you. Barnsley, hate you. Bodie McLennan, don't know who you are, glad to have you here. Hopefully you're part of the league. Jump in as a reserve driver, we'll try to find a drive for you. And somebody named Technic Speedy, I don't know who that is. He's probably a terrible person.
Not relative to me at all.
Yeah, I love you, Ethan. It's nice to see you watching.
So Buzzgod is going to come across the line. I can't imagine I would see an improvement, but guess you never know. Is he up?
He's no, I mean down. Sorry, he's down 1.4 seconds. So yeah, now he's 2 seconds. Yeah, it's just nowhere on the softs right now. This is basically qualifying over. I'd be shocked as Tanner and Axelize are both coming out for out laps.
I'm not sure I get it, because you're not going to accomplish anything on intermediates. The only thing you're going to do is rack up potential team bill and damages.
Oh, Axelize actually came out on softs, which is shocking.
Oh, okay.
So he and his engineering team must be seeing something we're not. Flossie goes straight into the pits. He invalidated his lap, and there's not enough time to set a decent lap. So 50 seconds left for Q3. I think we've pretty much established our grid. So it's going to be Raz and the Aston Martin.
You say that, but Marino hasn't really set a time yet, and he's doing it now. And hopefully he can finally make one stick.
No, he...
I don't...
Oh, no, he started another lap. I'm sorry. I thought he spun again. So.
Yeah, so this would be the only potential change that I could see happening. I think he can do better than a 2:06. So
it showed him up 30 seconds faster through his first sector from his best time, which would still put him 4.7 seconds behind Raz, which would put him in P7 at best.
Let's see what his... I actually didn't see a Sector 2 time. Let's see, 39.3 was the Sector 2 time. It's pretty off pace, as I see a little bit of desync happening there. It's interesting.
That was really weird. It looks like the two of them are racing, so they must not see each other, because Marino went right through him.
Yeah, time's going to be really slow, but...
Yeah, it's still P8, so no improvement there. Andy loses it and costs Adam a wing. Those are cheap, right, Adam?
Only anywhere from 100 to 250 grand, no big deal.
All right, so Siggy pulls off and retires. Tanner Desmond does the same, because what's the point? Like, thank you boys for being smart. That's Mercedes brains right there. Now, unfortunately for them, if they are on soft tires, that's going to actually add a lap of wear, because your AI will go ahead and drive around hard on them. It looks like the session is going to go in now. So Raz is on P1 in the Aston Martin, Buzzgod P2 in the Red Bull, Axelized in the Ferrari, and P4 goes to Flossen in the Haas. Tanner Desmond rounds up your top 5. Kyle Desmond, his brother in McLaren, will be on P6. Siggy in the Mercedes in P7. Marino in the vacuum cleaner on P8. And K-Seb rounds out your top 9. P10 will actually go to Quishy. He was not allowed to take part in Q1 because he did DNF during Q2, but he will start P10 in the Ferrari and will be the last driver that does not have a choice of tires.
Yep, and with that, we're going to go to a quick intermission, and we'll be back with you guys right at the start of the race. So, thank you. All right.
All right. Back. I'm sorry. I thought you were pouring your beer.
Yeah,
back live in Silverstone. Thanks for sticking with us. Sorry we had to miss Q1. Q2 and Q3 were some really good stuff. I just happened to notice that Raz is rocking the number 88 on the Aston Martin, and that was my number when I drove the Aston Martin, so it's kind of neat to see somebody else driving what used to be your car. So Raz in P1, Buzzgod P2, Axelized P3, Flossie in P4, P5 goes to Tanner Desmond. His brother Kyle is in P6. Siggy Marino, K7, and Quishy round out your top 10. Biggest surprise for me here is actually Flossie in P4 and Yuki Tsunoda, who the artist formerly known as George Russell, all the way up in P11. So it should be a really good race. Planning on probably at least one safety car. It is a brand new season. A lot of guys in new teams, a lot of guys with new teammates. There's going to be some distractions. Predicted pit stop strategy is medium to soft or medium to hard, which doesn't make any sense. Unless you get in some kind of stink early, you might try to throw on the hards. They will last. The mediums will last you about 14 laps, give or take. So we may see a two-stopper come into play for some of these drivers.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think a lot of it's just going to come into, is there a safety car? Well, I think there will be a safety car. It's tradition in D3 at this point. But when will that safety car come? Will it come at a point where it benefits the people who are on the softs, or is it going to come at a point a little later where it benefits the people who chose the medium tire? So we'll just have to wait and see how that all plays out. But I think my favorite for the time being is still going to have to be Buzzgod or Axelized. I think Raz is a little out of place, but this is also, like you said, Silverstone is home Grand Prix, so anything can happen.
Adam, any predictions from you on what's going to happen here in the race?
Oh yeah, Alpine won too, of course.
Okay, well.
No, I think I don't know. In past races, the medium strategy has, in my personal experience, never really paid off. So it'll be interesting to see if the top 5, how their medium strategy will go. I'm expecting some fast laps from Desmond and those folks. So.
All right, here we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and we are underway at Silverstone. It looks like the field gets away fairly cleanly. Got a couple cars running wide, couple almost running to the wall. Looks like Marino's lost a couple spots to begin with. Buzzgod's going to take the lead from Raz immediately. OG immediately picks up a time penalty. That's bad news for him.
And Flossen has DNF'd. Both Haas's incident. Unfortunate.
So that is bad news. And is that going to trigger a safety car? It looks like no. He's off in that infield area. where Siggy spun earlier. So other than the Haas trying to kill each other, it looks like everything. We got some really good side-by-side racing here between Raz and BuzzGod. They're going side-by-side through left fields here, and they're going to come around on the old main straight, which is also the GT3 straight.
Oh,
and they are
no.
going to be side-by-side all the way through Cops. Could we see it happen here again? This time is a little wheel bang there. And as they come
Side-by-side
through,
through
the Red
Cops.
Bull on the inside, nice and clean. Good job, boys. Way to keep it together there.
Yeah, he did push Raz a little wide, but we've got a good race going on here as they go side by side through Cops. Can they make it happen? As Axel Eyes is chilling behind him, and he manages to get past BuzzGod, and Raz is off.
Around. Raz has taken a Spinella through Maggots and Beckett's. He's going to lose 11 positions there. A big winner on the start there is Bebry in the Williams. He's up 9 positions from the start. So Axel Eyes inherits the lead. So it's Axel Eyes from BuzzGod, from Kyle and Tanner Desmond, Siggy, K-Seb, Apollo. Raz has dropped all the way down to P17. I can't tell if he has damage or not, but he's going to be driving angry as he overtakes Buffalo Trace as he tries to cut back through the field.
Wow, that's insane. So we've got a good race going on here in the front. And Axel Eyes is round 2. Not sure what happened, but right now we've got BuzzGod and Kyle Desmond. Kyle Desmond kind of lurking and sneaking around, and now he's in second place.
So we've got Babram, CD Hunt 66, Marino, and Nux all in the pits with damage, so they are effectively out of this race. Axel Eyes has dropped 11 spots, so Axel Eyes and Raz are going to be trying to push their way through the field. OG needs to make that car as wide as possible and hold them up so that BuzzGod can run away. And Raz about loses it again through the loop, and now he's going to try to catch back up to the pack. So BuzzGod from Kyle and Tanner Desmond. So the brothers 2-3. Tanner filling in this week as a reserve for a driver who is out. And then Siggy, Apollo, K-Seb, Yuki Tsunoda, a big mover here, up 4 spots into P7.
Yeah, it looks like the top 5 really couldn't get those mediums working in the first lap. It looks like a lot of the soft strategies have paid off just in the first lap. It looks like people have underestimated how long it takes to get the mediums to work. So,
yeah, I don't know if you pointed this out or not, Revis. I'm not sure if I heard it, but Bebry up 10 spots to P9.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Big surprise there. Glad to have him back in the Williams where he was comfortable. Had a fairly inconsistent Division 3 Season 2, but an accomplished driver, a good driver when he can keep it all on track. And it's like BuzzGod. My timing screen is completely jacked. I have no intervals at all, but it looks like he's got a little bit of a gap he's starting to build to Kyle Desmond, who has inverted cars with Tanner Desmond, but he is on the faster tire right.
Yeah, I'm not having those intervals right now either. I think it's going to show up as they cross the line. Yep, here we go. BuzzGod goes with the fastest lap. 130.9, we're going to see a lot of those times come down as they get lighter on the fuel load and switch to softer tires. But a lot of pace in that first little group right now. But with TTF Desmond and Siggy, the Mercedes are showing out, and K-Seb's kind of lurking behind.
Top 4 all within the DRS range as Tanner drops back just out of DRS range. But DRS has been now enabled, and so we're going to see more of those packs and clusters of cars start to form as a couple cars can kind of DRS away from the slow ones behind.
Things are finally kind of starting to settle down, but we've got a crazy battle going in the midfield. I think OG is kind of working his way through here now as he makes a pass on Bebry around the outside. Can he make it stick? Ooh, Bebry kind of... He does leave him room, but he definitely pushed him a little bit out to the outside. They're going to go side by side into Cops. Let's watch this from Mr. Robot's point of view. Is someone going to back out? And it looks like Bebry is going to lift a little bit. Mr. Robot passes him on the outside or makes an attempt to, doesn't get by. Axel Eyes is zooming back to the field, now behind Bebry as we go through Maggots and Beckett's. Get a little bit of dirty air as Bebry's getting a little bit of wiggle too, and we'll see with this DRS if he can make a move. Oh, but he hits the back of him. Does he have wing damage? We'll have to see if he comes into the pits. Putting the ERS down, I think he might be okay. Let's go ahead and... Oh, as he tries to get past on the inside by Mr. Robot, we got a lot of crazy battles going on in the midfield. Does look like Axel Eyes is choosing to stay out, so no damage for the time being. Siggy goes fastest. And this kind of second little pack going on up towards the front. And Axel Eyes is not being patient right now. He knows that he needs to get a move on because BuzzGod is going to run away with it if not. Oh. And a little bit of contact back there, and I think that Raz...
Yeah, Raz got the brunt of that one. Got punted again.
Yeah.
Wow. Raz and Axel Eyes were both trying to push so hard to get back into the fight.
And that was not how he was hoping that would end. But Axel Eyes is going to keep on moving. I'm sure that the stewards will have to take a look at that one.
Looks like we have a nice little rivalry and forming here. Oh my goodness.
And Bebry ran wide, and so did Mr. Robot as they both made contact as they came back onto the track.
Axel is taking advantage of that situation quickly.
Yeah, he did, and he got by him. So let's see. It doesn't look like we're going to have any antics in the cops this time around. Oh, but someone is around. Let's see who that was. Is that Cushy? Yeah, Cushy's around in cops as he re-enters the track a little bit unsafely, but he's ghosted, so that should be all right. Kyle Desmond up towards the front is kind of just hanging around with BuzzGod, and I think that he's going to play the patient game here, but I don't know if that is the right move, being that he's on a
Has to
soft
pit
tire.
first.
Yeah, he's got the soft tires. If he wants to make this work, he needs to get past BuzzGod and make it quick.
I've been over here with my mic muted, wondering why no one was responding to me. Looking down at B6, 5, 6, and 7, OG has taken over both K-Seb and Yuki Tsunoda, with that Honda power all running there together, trying to catch up with all the Mercedes power up front and trying to close that gap to BuzzGod to get all the Honda gang together. Leaf says gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he has retired the car, it looks like.
Oh, no. Hopefully he didn't wreck into the pits. No, I think you're right. I think that he just needed to come to the pits and retire, it looks like. And that's okay. Real life stuff happens, and real life does come first over this. But it does look like we've got penalties up front with the 2 Mercedes cars. So that's going to make things interesting down to the end. OG has been on the move, though. Bringing up how the AlphaTauris managed to get out of the way almost for OG. It didn't seem like he struggled much with them at all. We'll have to talk to Joel Guron about that a little bit later. See if that was team orders or not.
Yeah, it looks like Honda power units really took advantage of all the chaos and managed to keep everything together as a unit, and all benefited from it. So well done by the Honda team.
And even can we talk about for a moment Yuki Tsunoda here? He last season, I don't think this guy would have made it 5 laps into this race, and here he is sitting P8 5 laps into this race. So all I'm going to say is he's young, and he's got a lot of room to grow, so seeing this kind of growth is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Kyle Desmond is slowly catching up to BuzzGod, and while that's happening, of course, he's on the soft tire, so you would expect him to be a little bit quicker, but Siggy's also now joined the fray, so we got two Mercedes power looking to go BuzzGod hunting.
It'll be interesting to see if he goes for it.
And Dom in that second Alpine seat.
And Kyle Desmond runs into the side of BuzzGod. They bang doors. Doesn't end up good for Kyle, but Siggy might end up taking advantage of it as he's now in P2.
Did Kyle just get a 10-second penalty for spinning? 3-second penalty for track cut. Okay. I thought I saw a 10-second penalty. Which, knowing Codemasters. Tom Parr, let's go Bebry. Yeah, HTCP, Tom, good to see you in there. Felipe says, good luck, boys, and Merc Power. So appreciate everybody in the chat. We're up to 25 watching, so we're about 100 shy of what we should be. So share this, like, subscribe. Tell your grandma to watch it. Even if she's not watching, just tell her to turn it on her phone and set it to the side.
Absolutely. So Siggy's actually playing the patient game, but we're kind of to that point where soft tires maybe are kind of getting the overlap where they're not as good as the medium tire anymore. Maybe we're 1 or 2 laps out from that, but we're almost to that point.
Kyle Desmond into the pits.
Yeah, certainly have lost that advantage being on the soft tire. Kyle's got the soft one on, by the way. Let's see what kind of tire he chooses to go to. Oh, as he's going down the forever slow Silverstone pit lane.
So it's got to be the medium, and you're banking on a safety car later to throw another set of softs on. I don't think I'd go with the hard here. He's putting the mediums on.
Yep, and I think that's
smart
the right
move,
call.
Kyle Desmond. Try to extend this run and wait for somebody to smash somebody else.
And Axelized, even though he struggled, has made it all the way back up to OG in P4. And you know that BuzzGod and OG they're good teammates. I'm sure that BuzzGod's putting that little bug in OG's ear saying, hey man, don't let him by. I need you to hold him as long as you can. So this will be an interesting battle to see if OG does his best to hold up Axelized or not.
Brad's starting to make his way back to the field. He's up to P10, just took that spot from Quishy. The Ferrari power letting him down there as the Aston Martin moves up to P10 and looking to maximize points now at this point. Kyle Desmond drops all the way down to P16. on the pit stops. Marino has dropped a spot as well down to P17. And Babram CD Hunt not having a great time. He's on the hard tires, the only driver out there currently on the hards, and those take forever to get into the window, and you need a really good, warm, hot day and good high pressures to get those things grippy.
Agreed.
It almost looked like Yuki Tsunoda was going to make a pass here on Kaseb, but he chose not to, and I'm sure that's a little bit of team orders going on. AlphaTauri is a little bit of a weird one, because I'm not sure if they know who's the number 1 driver and who's the number 2 driver. You would have thought it would be Kaseb being the number 1 driver coming in, but with as much improvement as George has made, you really don't know what they're kind of thinking over there in that team garage.
Well, I'll go ahead and make the decision for him. George has been here longer, so it's Yuki Tsunoda in your first seat.
Yeah, then they need to go ahead and make that driver. They need to swap positions real quick. So,
yeah, that's the danger of running both teammates that close together on the exact same strategy. You don't want to risk the double stack, and especially if one ends up having to change the wing because minor damage, haven't unticked the box, so to say.
Yes.
Victor Kimas in the chat. Nice to see you. Come on, Siggy, he says. Yeah. Merc Power up front. And this is exactly what we wanted to see. We wanted to see the big manufacturers up front. And so we tried to build the teams in such a way. It looks like a Ferrari was stopped on track with Quishy. Kyle Desmond just goes right past him. Up to P15 for Kyle.
yeah, you're right. And as you're saying, we're kind of trying to make it so the main teams are your Ferrari, your Red Bull, your Alpine, and your Alpine. I'm sorry, and Mercedes. That they would kind of be the top teams. And as you see, we've got Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes rounding up the top 5. So Alpine's nowhere to be found because they haven't done much this season, and to be honest, they're quite irrelevant. So I'm not too worried about them. But the rest of the teams look like they're here to compete.
Dominman's got his Dyson back up there to P8, so he is.
I will say, for somebody who did not get to participate in qualifying, he's about 12 positions. So. It looks like Marino had to pit and got unfortunate and caught up in the first lap chaos, so had to go in for a wing, and now you kind of get relegated to the back in that situation.
Yep, and real quick, Axel Eyes did get by OG without much trouble, and I think that a lot of it is probably to contribute to the fact that OG's on that soft tire that's wearing off, but he's got DRS and he's using some battery right here. Is he going to try to make a move on Axel Eyes, maybe battle with him a little bit to slow him up? And he does look like he's going to go down on the inside, at least force him wide. Axel Eyes gives him a little bit of room, but OG thinks better of it.
Think about it for sure.
Yep. This is good racing here from OG and Axel Eyes. Let's see if they decide to go be patient through cops. I'm imagining that they will, but I would imagine also that OG's going to try to go after him in the next DRS zone. Assuming he gets
watching on board with that. We've got a car off in Sector 1. Is that a...
Looks like an Alpine. Is it an Alpine?
It was Marino. Marino's had a bit of a moment there. So I want to recap some of the big movers. Ethan brought it up in the chat. OG up 10 spots. Siggy up 5 spots. Down in P8, Dom Inman, the Polish boy wonder, up from P20 up to P8. So 12 spots there. Raz has lost 9 spots. Kyle Desmond 9 spots, but he has pitted. And Marino down 9 spots. So that's your big movers. Siggy goes fastest with a 130.
Yeah, but I think that they were kind of getting into that DRS train time. It's kind of just what it's turning into for the people that are, the field's kind of spread out, but for our little groups of people that are together, it's just patient DRS training.
As Yuki picks up a time penalty, poor guy. So 9 laps on the soft. You got to be looking about the next 3 laps or so. You're going to want to get off those softs and try to get that 14 lap window, give or take, for the mediums. The mediums, after about 14 laps, start to get a little slippy. And so we're going to be seeing Siggy, Mr. Robot, Apollo, possibly Nux and Marino come in, or Bebri come in and switch over to the mediums. We have a Sector 3. I think that time no, that's not Hunt. Who is that? It's like Bebri had a moment through the chicane, and he's got it back going now along the Hamilton Straight.
I'll tell you what, OG's not letting Axel Eyes go. He's fighting him. So I'm a little surprised that he's able to keep up with those softs, because they're really, it's pit time for him, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him come in this lap. It's him or Buzzgod need to. Buzzgod's gonna have the first chance at it right here. Let's see if he comes into box, and he's gonna pass for the time being. If I'm Red Bull, one of them needs to come in now.
Yeah, you think it's got to be OG, because Buzzgod's gonna have to go to soft, so he's got to extend about 5 more laps here on those mediums.
Yeah, they can't really come in the same lap, or the pit crew won't be ready for it. So just kind of the F1 game mechanics doesn't really allow you to do that.
Diggy does come into the pits for medium, so see where he shuffles out. Should shuffle him back down around P10, P11. Mr. Robot also in the pits. He's going to get off the softs and go onto a set of mediums. And let's see where Siggy actually shuffles out. And right now he has the power of the undercut if he can get in behind somebody where he can get some DRS, because BuzzGod is not going to have that advantage. And the only thing he's going to have is just fresh, wide open air in front of him. And so yeah, Siggy comes out P9, and Mr. Robot will be a couple spots behind him.
Yeah, it's looking like OG's going to just kind of be patient behind Axel Eyes for the time being. So let's go ahead and hop on board with Siggy. He should be in full push mode. I would be surprised to, or I wouldn't be surprised to see him blowing his ERS and just trying to make as much of a gap as he can to BuzzGod. And you would have to imagine that this would be the lap that BuzzGod would want to come in to kind of react to Siggy's move here, unless he's got some sort of crazy strategy that we're unaware of.
Apollo's gone into the pits for a set of hards. Not sure that's the right strategy, but maybe he's concerned with not being able to make those mediums last. And really surprised and happy to not see a safety car so far. So really proud of these boys, and we'll broadcast curse them now.
Yep, and BuzzGod's staying out. You know what? BuzzGod is on mediums. I'm sorry.
He needs to stay out another 4 or 5, maybe 6 laps if he can conserve some tire and not lose much time to Tanner behind. Right now he has let's change our detail here to our gap to leader. So he has a full 28 seconds we'll call it, to Siggy. That's your pit stop right there. So right now he should come out, unless Siggy can really get close to Raz and start utilizing some DRS. BuzzGod's just fine to sit right where he's at.
Yep, and OG, on the other hand, does need to be coming in, as well as Bebry, and Denux is not too far behind him. Those three are on pretty worn soft tires that I've only found to make it about 10 laps. So OG's taking him to 11 right now, but he's keeping up with Axelized, and I wonder if he's staying out just to kind of stay a part of this DRS train. But as I said, that he does kind of fall out of the DRS train just at that moment. Not within a second anymore, 1.1 at the moment, and given that scenario, I would imagine that this would definitely be the lap that OG says, hey, you know what? I've got nothing going for me anymore. Let's go ahead and swap to the medium tires. And I've swapped it at a later lap than normal at this point, so I should be good to push hard to the very end.
Nux goes into the pits for a set of mediums. She finally had enough of those softs. Has picked up a penalty. Let's run through our penalties real quick.
Looks like Cushy is.
Go ahead.
Cushy picked one up a couple corners ago, a 3 second.
So it looks like Tanner Desmond, OG, Yuki Tsunoda, Raz, Kyle Desmond, Cushy, Bebry, Nux, and Hunt, all with 3 second penalties. We have looks like a Raz potentially around. Nope, it was it would be the Apollo. Apollo had a bit of a moment at the beginning of the loop, and he's got it back going again. And looks like he may actually be holding up BuzzGod. So, he's ghosted there, so BuzzGod makes it through. So, no real concern with the lap traffic there as BuzzGod tries to extend this lead over Siggy. OG into the pits. He is putting on a set of mediums. That's right there in the perfect window. He took a little bit of extra time, so might see BuzzGod try to come in within the next 2 to 3 laps.
Yeah, I'm thinking, around lap 16 would be where I kind of imagine these medium runners to start coming in, and that's when we'll really start to see where the diciness plays out, where people come out. I think that this undercut is going to work out for Siggy. Let's see what the interval is now. Your gap to leader, I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, Axel Ice is all over the back of Tanner Desmond. He's smelling blood in the water right now. He's down in P3.
He's not happy that he lost out to BuzzGod when they had that contact early in the race, is he?
No, he's not, and that DRS does the job as they go down the hanger straight, and he has got that move safely done, and now he's hoping to close that 10-second gap to BuzzGod. Marino picks up a penalty, just hoovering up the time penalties.
Yeah, it's not great for him. Let's see.
So
no one has more than that's funny. No one has more than 3 second penalties though, so that's good. We don't have any penalties that are too drastic yet. No one's speeding in the pit lane or doing drastic corner cuts. I'm surprised we haven't seen a safety car, by the way.
Oh, and right as you say that, Apollo picks up a 3 second penalty. So far we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers clean without penalties that are still driving in the race. Siggy's moved up to P8 now. OG actually shuffled out behind him. Dom looks like he's going to have DRS on Raz here as Yuki and K-Seb invert the cars. Yuki all the way up to P4. Both of them are yet to pit, so I wonder if that's a strategy call. They're going to bring K-Seb in first to let Yuki go ahead and get ahead and try to run away a little bit.
Maybe it could be. Yuki also has that 3-second penalty, and maybe he doesn't want Raz to end up catching him. So K-Seb's trying to create that little buffer for the two of them. Also,
Nux goes fastest after picking up a 3-second penalty.
Interesting. See what tires Nux is running.
New set of mediums.
Mediums, yeah. Okay.
She just pitted for mediums last lap.
All right, so we got about a lap or two before these medium runners are coming in. So I'm really impressed to see Yuki up into P4.
Absolutely, that kid's put in a lot of work. He's had a lot of heartache. He's been like a mini Rivas as far as getting taken out of races and just cars just flying into him for no apparent reason. K-Seb into the pits. So yeah, they inverted the cars so K-Seb could pit first and undercut his teammate by a lap. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but yeah, that's smart.
Could be, yep. K-Seb's obviously going to go to the soft tire. That's the right choice as we hop on board with Yuki. Kind of just lapping right now. I don't think that he's in a point where he's going to be running down TTF Desmond or any of the leaders.
Is that Buzzgod around? Buzzgod's around. Buzzgod is around.
Oh no, and that's going to change things up. He is going to
Axelize inherits the lead.
Ran just a lead. Oh, and those mediums are hot.
Tanner Desmond also takes a spot, so now Yuki's got to be salivating behind, thinking, hey, I wonder if I can catch up to that. He's 10 seconds back, but that's an advantage of a couple of seconds. He's now made up on the top 3.
Yep, so Axelize does have the lead for the time being. They're both going to be on soft tires. Buzzgod, I think, has the pace to catch Axelize, but 9 laps, can he do it? We'll have to see. I don't know.
This may come down to the last lap and who can push those tires right to the brink of what they can do as K-Seb picks up a time penalty. So is he our first 6-second penalty man?
All three are pitting. I would assume Yuki is coming in as well.
Right now, I'll watch Yuki
out.
back here.
Yuki stays out. Interesting play here.
No, it's an amazing play because for the first time in the history of Zoom Racing League, we are going to see in the lead of the race, one George Russell, a.k.a. Yuki Tsunoda, shut it down. The league's over. We've accomplished everything we ever wanted to. Congratulations. You are a race leader, George Russell. I am so proud of you right now, dude. That is awesome.
That is awesome. And he led a lap,
Let's
too.
go.
So that is crazy. George Russell leads his first lap.
Fantastic.
What a start to season 3.
He's going to try to take these tires 26 laps.
As the general Discord channel erupts.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
The count, stop the race, red flag. We've completed over 50%. Let's full points awarded.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I will Michael Massey this right now. Ethan, I hope you stub all of your toes. Ethan Patel, he's led more laps than Rivas.
He is right though. So
yeah, I know.
I couldn't be prouder to be on the team owner. Yuki's a great addition to the team. Hopefully, we don't jinx him. And I'm excited to see.
Oh no, let's talk about him for the rest of the race. So there was a lot of people that were kind of surprised by your pick, but this just shows exactly what you were talking about when you decided to make that pick. You know how bad George wants this. You know how much he's kind of felt let down, like he gets kind of picked on and stuff. He's going to come in the pits now, put the softs on, and try to finish this race really strong.
Yep.
But yeah, he's had a disappointing time, and he's really young, and that disappointment can eat at you. And so, I'm so proud of him right now. That's a highlight moment for him.
Absolutely. So Siggy is going to be the leader of this race. He's on older medium tires. Axelized is trying to run him down, but this is really Siggy's race to kind of win, because when Axelized catches up, he's still going to have to make the pass. And at that point, he's going to be dealing with some softs that have a little bit of wear into them. They're not going to be fresh anymore. So Siggy can drive that.
10 laps to go. He needs to be almost a second to lap faster than Siggy.
I think
that's
he can.
a big ask. Well, that is a big ask. but without picking up a penalty. And that's where sometimes when we're talking about who we're drafting, one of the things with Axel Ice is we know he's super fast, but is he going to be consistent? Is he going to be able to push hard the next 10 laps and not pick up that last warning that's going to cost him a win? Meanwhile, OG is looking like he is getting hunted down by the Tanner Desmond. He's got DRS on him, and
I'm sure
he'll be
that
able
he's
to
just
take it
going to
the next
let.
DRS zone.
He's probably trying to let Buzzgod by eventually. I guess Buzzgod must have had some wing damage because he should have came out right behind Axelized. Unless he had another spin, I'm not sure. Looks like we do have a spin, by the way. I think it's Marino.
It was
again.
Marino. Yeah, Marino had another issue.
So the first round draft pick curse is just not looking good for him right now.
That bag in the back may be full. We need to probably shake some of the dust out of the car.
Yeah.
That's another vacuum joke.
Yeah. No, we didn't tell.
Well, jokes are funnier when you explain them.
Absolutely.
That's what I live my life by.
So let's see what kind of time Axelized runs right here. And that's fastest lap, 29.4, which is 9/10 faster than Siggy. And you said he needs a second lap, so with these tires starting to wear off, you would have to imagine that Siggy should have this in the bag unless Axelized does something crazy or Siggy messes up.
Raz goes faster on the soft, so he wants to get back up in that podium position. So right now, Siggy, Axelized, Dom, and Mr. Robot, the only runners without penalties.
Oh, and Buzzgod's into the pits again. What happened?
What did we miss? Oh, well, he spun.
Well, yeah, but he came into the pits after that. So that is not good for the guy who's led the most laps in this race. Comes down to the end and has a little bit of a choke. He's still on soft tires. He can make up some places, but that is not 12th place. I'm sure is not where he wants to be after having a good race.
I'm gonna head down to the Red Bull phone and see if I can figure out what happened there.
Okay. So Axelized still kind of running down Siggy. And now we have 8 laps left. And 7-second gap. So he doesn't even need a second per lap. Let's see what their times are when they cross the line this time. So Siggy's going to cross with a 130.4. Axelized is going to be right behind him with a 29.3, so 1.1 seconds. We have a race on our hands. Axelized is running down Siggy at a pace fast enough to make the pass. Well, it'll just all come down to making the pass once it gets down to the last lap.
Yeah, he's made up the 2 seconds. Had a chance to talk to the Red Bull garage. Turns out the little incident between Tanner and Buzzgod ended up getting a little bit of damage. So his teammate OG's going to have to carry the Red Bull torch for the rest of the run.
Yep, and OG's in a good spot too, but he does have TTI Desmond right on his tail. So we'll see if he can hold him off. Desmond has a lot of ERS left.
And the tire advantage.
Absolutely. While you were gone, Revis, we were talking. Axelized actually had, now it's 7 laps left. He doesn't even need a second lap. Last lap he took out 1.1 seconds. It's happening.
Well, the problem is
hard into the lead.
Yeah, but he's also eating hard into those tires. So how hard is he pushing them? And has he done, like we did with Mercedes, we did extensive tire testing to make sure that our pressures were correct, because this is a very, just like Zandvoort, just like Zolder, this is a very left front intense. You lean on your left front tire a lot here, and your left rear can go quickly as well. So if you haven't made a good strategy and plan for how to care for those tires at the hotter temperatures, you can wear those tires out, and all of a sudden all this pace he's been pushing will just go out the window, and you'll be like, what happened? And you look and you've worn 40% of your left front.
Yep, you're right, that can happen. So let's see what kind of times they come across with. Oh wait, I think they just came across, I'm sorry. Lap times were 130.2 for Siggy and 129.5, so only 7/10 that time, but he's still making the gap. He kind of compensated that for the lap before. 6 laps left, 6-second gap. It's a fun one. It's going to come down to the wire.
Look at the penalty situation here. Raz up to 11 seconds, so that is effectively going to put him down in about P10. P9, P10 area. If no one else behind him picks up more penalties, Kyle Desmond has 6 seconds of penalties, so that will promote Dom Inman up to 8. Buzzgod goes fastest with a 128.9. Not surprising there. He's got nothing to lose, everything to gain, and that championship point for him may be very important later in the season.
As Ogi's going to go side by side into cops with Desmond. Mercedes on the outside this time. And they make it stick, both of them, keep it on the track, and that's how it should be done. Max Lewis, I hope you're watching.
Really good, confident drivers there, and it's nice to see our guys doing that. Like we talked about earlier, Tanner does have the tire advantage, so not surprising he overtook him there, and he's going to have the DRS here. I'm sorry, OG's going to have the DRS, so they're going to keep it tight, but I think Tanner's going to be able to gap him here a little bit.
Well, we'll see as OG is battling back. Dives it down on the inside. Really
Takes
close
it down the
racing between
inside.
these two. Desmond's kind of going to let him go for the time being. I think he's just planning to... Well, hold on. Let's see what the penalty situation is between these two. Both have 3-second penalties, so they're racing to the end.
Like Yuki has moved up into P6 now.
So last lap for Siggy was a 29.9, 129.9, and Axel has ran a 29.1, so 8 tenths.
Just outside of that window, it may get close, but
Yeah,
he's got to make it. He's got to make it into that 1 second zone because he's going to have that DRS to make it happen.
and to Siggy's advantage, what might be helping him out in this specific lap, he's got a Mercedes car in front of him, Mercedes engine teammate. It's about to hand him some DRS right here. And that literally could make the difference in the race. He does run a little wide through the exit of Maggots and Beckett's. He was not gifted DRS, so
I need to go make a call.
no worries.
No, to tell him to back up and give Siggy DRS.
Oh, no worries. I thought you meant you had a...
I knew where you were going with that one.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's Bebry, and it looks like it's his ghost, so maybe he's actually not in the race right now at the moment.
Oh, he's getting lapped, so
Oh, that's probably why.
he's going to be ghosted.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, Axel is still reeling him in. That lap, he was a full second faster. 30.5 for Siggy, 29.5 for Axelized.
5 laps to go, 4-second gap. He's right there in the window, but again,
Looks like Ziggy's going to get the DRS down the...
As Yuki and Kasev are actually going to kind of battle here for 5th position.
Yuki.
The crowd wants to see it, but also Kasev does want his driver standing points, and I don't blame him for wanting to fight this out. As long as there's no Honda on Honda. Oh, no! Did I just jinx it? I may have.
You did.
I said as long as there's no Honda on Honda contact.
Just a touch. I don't know if the wing was hurt.
We've got some
in the
wing
Makey
damage
out.
for Yuki.
Yeah, George just he ran wide, yeah, so he's got a little bit of wing damage, but still has a pretty decent gap to Kyle behind. And Kyle does have that 6 seconds of penalty. So
Oh
he's just gonna
no,
track here.
and the spin.
Yeah, it's getting worse, and this is supposed to be the broadcaster curse, so we're gonna go ahead and get off
Talk
him.
about anyone else.
Yeah. So, Axelized. Hopefully we don't give him the broadcaster's curse.
Made up another 6 tenths on that lap. I think it was 4.1 at the beginning of the last lap. So about a half a second there, unless I'm counting it wrong.
Wouldn't it be crazy if we came down to the last lap and it was Axelized versus Siggy, side by side into cops, and an Oh my god! Ooh, that scared me. And then OG ends up taking the lead because these two get into an accident. That'd be crazy.
That would be insane. Look at Dom down in P7 from P20. Kept it clean. Not a single penalty either. So really good choice there with his Husker Noodle pedals. His new rig doing him some good. Other person that I believe was Mr. Robot down in P9 just got himself a brand new ultra wide monitor, and so he said he already shaved some tenths just being able to see the track a little bit better and be able to really zoom in with the higher quality. So he's doing well in the McLaren. So both the McLarens running in the top 10, both of the Mercedes running in the top 10. It's almost like their owner knows what he's doing.
It's almost like that. I would imagine he probably doesn't.
No, not a clue. I just make it up as I go along. In fact, my favorite part of the draft was when Peter Giordano was in the chat and was convinced that I was picking drivers solely on my ability to make a joke regarding their name, and that is not untrue.
Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Yep.
Axelized is still pushing. It's gonna be so close, man.
looks like Yuki's trying to stay out on that wing.
He must not. He
Dom's
must
gonna
not
get
have
that
that bad of
position
damage.
really.
Can we check TAS and see what kind of damage he might have? Do you know?
I hadn't pulled it up. I can pull it up real quick.
I can see it too. Let's see. Oh, it's not bad. It's only 3%. 3% to the front left wing. So he's.
Oh, that's
So
not bad at all.
just a touch of understeer, not even.
Yeah, he'll
hardly
probably lose the
noticeable,
spot
probably.
to Daman Man, I'm sure. But after that, he
Unless
should be able to
you're-
hold on to P8.
Unless you're Lewis Hamilton at Jeddah, and then it makes you faster.
Correct.
And that's how it works.
Don't need no sneaking in plates.
So last laps, we had 29.8 from Axelized. So he took 8/10 out of him.
Every now
30.6
to
from
15
Siggy.
seconds. He's going for the Duncan McCamick Award here for the 20 seconds or more penalties in a race.
It's tough to do,
Oh,
but
Raz.
someone's got to do it.
Raz picks up. I think our winner last night on the podium for penalties was 24 seconds in our academy race. So if you're listening and you're not sure if you have a league that you want to be a part of, we do have a reserve and academy driver program that will help you get into one of these seats if it's something you're interested in. Discord link is at the bottom. Make sure you like, subscribe, join the Discord. If you got questions, we're here to answer them. Hit up one of the 3 admins. It'll be myself, Duncan, and Adam Klein. We'll be glad to help you kind of guide and direct you and try to get you into a seat if you show up, you show pace, and you're a good person to hang around with. We're all about community first, racing second, but man, we don't slack on the racing. We've got 4 divisions if you count our county division as well, and it's just a really good community, and we'd love to have you.
Real quick, little side battle here. Yuki versus Dom going into the last lap. Oh, I got Lance Strolled. Dominant makes the pass on the outside. But these two have a little bit of history just from their managers talking crap. So Yuki versus Dom, that's a good battle to watch as well. But we are down to 2 laps left. And you're looking at Siggy. This guy's got to be sweating bullets. He's seen it from the very start. Axelized has been chasing him down from 10 seconds back. And now he's to the point where he can see him in his rearview mirror as he heads into Cops and then into Magnuson Beckett's. 1.5 seconds back is Axelized.
But Axelized is also down to 2% battery, so he's going to have to do a lot of recharging to do a last lap push because Siggy does have the advantage by about 20% on the battery.
And yeah, you're right. And if Axelized wants to have any battery to push, he's going to need to start getting that right now. As he
He
hits
is
0%.
completely depleted. Yeah, there's nothing there on the battery, and those tires are going to be screaming at this point. So his to do is to focus forward, but don't push so hard that you end up losing this P2.
Absolutely. So I think he will have DRS going into the last lap. It's looking like it at least. See if he can get it on this first DRS zone, where maybe he can just use it as a recharge moment.
So far, Siggy keeping him out by 2/10, so he's got to keep that gap over 1 second. So 1.001 is just enough,
And Axelized spins. Oh no! Oh, he caught it, but
and that's
That
what I
will
was
be
concerned
it.
about.
Yeah.
That's the over push right there, where you're already on the limit and you push just over the limit, and it's unfortunate, but it's yeah, it happens.
it does. Yep. So looks like Siggy should walk away with this one pretty scotch-free. Yuki is not giving up on Donovan. I know he's got penalties, but I think there's some beef here. And this is something that Yuki wants to get settled right now. Hey, you know what? You may beat me in the race, but I'm going to beat you on track. So he's not giving up. Let's see if he goes for it in the DRS zone. Donovan runs wide. Yuki should be able to get a good exit right here. As he does, he's easy on the throttle. Wow, very good from Yuki. He's going to have DRS.
Good
And this is
control
what
with
the
that
crowd
knee.
wants to see as he goes past Domin Man on the inside. Brakes, gets the car stopped. Domin Man gets him back on the inside. Wow, going side by side as they
Yeah, just
are
took it a little deep there.
potentially going to
Oh,
head
wow.
into Cops side by side. George and Dom. No, looks like George is smart enough to pull out, and I think maybe he's to the point where he
And
realizes,
as
you know
they
what?
do, Siggy comes through the final corner onto the hanger straight. Your race winner, Siggy.
Absolutely, a great race.
2
Siggy.
seconds back, Axelized, OG in P3, Tanner Desmond in P4 will actually keep that even with penalties. K-Seb to P5, Kyle Desmond P6, but Dominman will take the Kyle Desmond spot for P6 on penalties. So really good racing there. Yuki and Dom are not done yet. They're going to run this all the way down to the wire. What great racing.
But I think if
Absolutely.
you're Dom, you have to be smart here and know that Yuki's serving a penalty and just let him go. But what a fantastic last 2 laps for him.
Yep, so Yuki will come across and looks like it'll stick in P8, on track P7. So that'll be a good battle to watch throughout the season, definitely. Buzzgod is
Nux
going
in
to
P10.
Yep, Buzzgod's going to come across in P9, it looks like. Which is not what he wanted, but also not terrible because you finished the race, and we know Buzzgod has a history of not always finishing races. So for Buzzgod, I think it's something that we can work with and move forward. Mr. Robot P10, that's a great finish for Mr. Robot. Nux in P11. Raz coming through at P12. Cushy's going to come through across the line now in P13, followed by Buffalo Trace here in a moment, and looks like he's going to hold on to P14. Marino, having a really disappointing first race, is going to come across the line in P15, so not too good for our first round draft pick. And that'll round it out.
Disappointing start, but
So
lucky he didn't get collected in the DNF with Flossie. He just got hit by him as Flossie was getting sent off the track. So rather get the points than a DNF.
absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to throw this out to the chat. We normally only interview 3 drivers, but if you want to hear from George Russell, I need to see it in the chat. I need to see, we want George, we want George, we want George, and we will make it happen. So right now we're going to talk to Mr. P3 himself, the man from Red Bull that we actually thought the other Red Bull was going to be near the top, but your teammate had some issues, and you were able to capitalize. OG, really great drive, man.
Yeah, I mean, first things first, before the race, I said I was going to dedicate this race to my friend Arwen. Hopefully it went well. It wasn't looking great in qualifying, but it ended up well. So Arwen, this is for you. Got to give another shout out to my teammate Buzzcod. You know, that was his to win, and some unfortunate things happened, but it allowed me to get third.
OG, you started 15th. Tell us how you managed to get to the field.
Well, there's really no secret. Just pure pace, baby. No, but
I love it.
I don't know. I was just feeling it. Like, you know, starting from the back, there's nothing to lose. You know, there was like a lap 1 instant, no contact or anything, but you had to dodge people, and so I went down to like 17th, and then after that, I was like, because my issue last season was I was too timid to do anything, and so this was like, screw it, I'll go for it. So I just kept overtaking.
All right, well, really good start to the season, really good drive. It's unfortunate you had to do it in a Red Bull. I was really hoping to pair you with Siggy, but your team over there had other plans, and proud of you. Really good drive, OG, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, so P2 somehow, some way, P2 went to a Ferrari. I'm still shocked, but that was an amazing final push. A little disappointing there at the end for Axel Eyes, but man, that was a really good drive.
Yeah, just a bit unlucky in the end on the curb. I said to NVA I was gonna give it all I got, and that was all I got. But fine
Yeah.
result for the first round, so I'll take it.
We watched you come out of the pits with that 10-second gap to first place up to Siggy. Did you know that for sure, like, hey, I have the pace, I can make this happen, or was it kind of just like, oh, we'll see what happens?
I felt like I could do it, and no, now we don't know on the final lap, but I just know that the gap was close to a second, so it would have made for an exciting final lap. But fair play to Siggy for managing his strategy and his pace that well.
Absolutely. Well, good race, Axel Eyes. It would have been awesome to see you guys battle that out on the last lap, but nevertheless, it's a great start of the season, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yep.
All right, so we're still waiting right now to hear from Siggy. Not sure what he's doing, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and make the call here. And even though the game didn't award it, I am awarding Driver of the Day to one Yuki Tsunoda, better known as George Russell. Dude, you actually ran in the lead lap of the race. You were in P1 leading the race. Really good fight with Dom Inman. Really clean drive from you. A little bit of contact with your teammate, but dude, we are all so proud of you, and you did a great job tonight. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I'm actually eating my dinner right now, so that's pretty fun. If you want to know, do you want to know what happened with me and Sub?
Yeah, he tried to take you out, didn't he? He got jealous of your fame, and he tried to take you out, didn't he?
Oh, he was trying to let me pass, and I got a bit too aggressive, and I thought he was going to let me pass to the middle of the corner.
Oh no.
That too.
Dang. Well, you didn't get too bad of damage, and you managed to hold on to P8, so we're really proud of you.
I don't think I got any damage.
You
I didn't get any damage.
okay? Well, you heard it from the man himself. So, regardless, what did it feel like? I guess tell us. You led a lap in this race.
Felt pretty good.
All right, cool. Well, we'll take that and we'll run with it. Thanks for joining us on an interview, George.
Yep. All right, bye.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
buddy. Good time. All right. I guess Siggy. I don't know. Is he? What?
I mean, at this point, I would say that we could just drag him in here, see what he says. So, regardless, overall, great race. What do you think,
Yeah,
Adam?
fantastic. I mean, a Division 3 race without a single safety car. Think about that. Only 2 DNFs. One was a retirement.
Yeah, we don't see that too often.
And yeah, I mean, that was impressive. So
I have tracked down the giggle box, Mr. Siggy, my first pick, the first win in the Mercedes Power.
Let's go.
So Siggy, I think honestly was pissed when I picked him. Like he and I, we poke at each other a lot. We have a lot of fun, but we've done a lot of practice this week, and Siggy was there for all of it, and I think that showed out today. So Axel Eyes was chasing you down. Did you get a little nervous, a little sweaty, seeing him cutting that gap?
Actually, no. Big props to Big Mama Frank for race engineering, because he was telling me lap for lap how much he was Axel was cutting time on me, and I was like, all right, let's see. I can recharge, I can push, and then he was just like giving me like good vibes throughout the whole time. So yeah.
Yeah, and good vibes are very important. Speaking of which, the people in front of you didn't have such good vibes and ended up crashing out. Talking about BuzzGod and someone else. Raz, yeah. So, what did you do to put yourself in a position to win this race?
Away from them.
Yeah.
You just look at them, and then there's certain people that okay, that's gonna be trouble, and there you go.
All right, well, BuzzGod, Raz, I hope you're hearing this. That's awesome, man. We got a little bit of rivalry story down the line already brewing. So, good race, Siggy, and appreciate you joining us for this interview. Congratulations and great start to the season.
Congrats.
Man. Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
So as a reward for your win, you will be able to go home and see your family, and you get dinner tonight. So
wow.
Back to the paddock, and then tomorrow you can go see your family.
All I could dream of. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Siggy. All right, that's gonna wrap it up from us. Final thoughts from either of you?
No, I think it's a great race. If you guys aren't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to this video. Or like this video, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and join our Discord, get involved, and yeah, look forward to seeing you guys. We have another race here in like 15 minutes. If you want to tune into Division 2, and then tomorrow at 8 p.m. we will have our premiere division. Division 1's going to be going, and you can go ahead and tune into that too to see some of our fastest drivers.
And that is at a new time. So Sunday nights now at 8 o'clock Eastern instead of 10 o'clock Eastern. So I had to put the kids to bed a little bit earlier to watch them go fast. Adam, any final thoughts from you?
No, a great kickoff to season 3. I think it was an amazing race and came right down to the end. So you always like to see final lap battles. So.
And no safety car, so the challenge has been issued to Division 2 and Division 1. And so with that, we'll say goodnight. Thank you for tuning in. Go get yourself something cool to drink, some tater chips, PBJ, and Division 2 will be starting here in about an hour. So stick around for that, folks. Thank you so much, and good night.